It's really sad that people won't put milk in their bolognese at least once in their life. It's been cutting onions, not that big a deal. Nah. Yep, just kidding. Sorry it's been a minute, champions. Jules and I have been away for a little bit. We went to Japan, filmed a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to turn that into a thing at the moment. In the meantime, I just had COVID and tonsillitis. If you haven't had tonsillitis, let me tell you, just have a crack. You'll love it. It's fucked. Anyway, I'm better now. New and improved. I don't know about that second bit, or the first bit for that matter.
I'm same and I'm tired.
A lovely champion on the Patreon, Crystal M, left a comment saying, "Fucking lasagna, have you done that shit, do lasagna?" To answer your question, Crystal, well, yes I have. We have made the meat tray lasagna before. And that was,
I love it!
Jules loves it, and I love Jules.
Thanks, Crystal, now I get to eat lasagna.
Yeah. For those of you champions that have been swanning about this page for a little while now, you may remember that I made a recipe called End of Days Bolognese. I'm gonna fucking make it again, but I'm gonna make my lasagna. Bolo, not really. Lasagna is a beautiful thing when it's done right. When it's not done right, it's bought from a shop in a fucking packet, you can fuck off for that, it tastes like a foot. Bloody champion. That goes in it as well. That's all the stuff that's in it. Anyone that's tried my Bolognese recipe, you can just make that too. This is pretty much exactly that, but I've got a couple of little tweaks. I've updated it. Now we're gonna make the pasta sheets. You don't have to make the pasta sheets, but you should because it's easy. Or you can just buy fresh ones. Or you can just use the dry ones, but they're a bit more shit. No, it's not a brain. That is pork and beef mince. You can just use beef mince if you like. You could just use pork mince, I suppose. Don't use chicken mince because that'll be fucking shit. I've gone a bit gutso on the pancetta here. If you can't find pancetta, that's okay. No one's going to arrest you. You can just use bacon. Want to chop that up into the bowl. Chop those up into the bowl. Didn't throw both, did I? 2 onions. I know, seems like a lot. That's because it is. Dice all the stuff up and bung it in there. Cut this up rough as shit. That shit will do. Boom. I know it's a lot of pancetta. There's a reason for that, because it fucking tastes great. Keep the pancetta or whatever you end up using separate. Does it look like it fucking got thrown through a fan? You know, there's always the feel free to use less option as well. Whoa, fucking hell. Sorry, mate. Anyway you look at it, this thing's a punish. That. Yes, hello mate. Well, in true cooking style, we're going to use a pan.
Wow.
Let's cook it. First things first, we're going to bung in some olive oil, fry off the mince. You can do this in batches, you know, maybe half of this at a time. Stay hot. You can't win with these fucking things. It's either like hot or just gone on holidays to Terrigal. You want to brown the mince off and you want to cook the liquid out. If you dump heaps of it in, you'll have heaps of liquid and not much surface area. You won't really fry the mince then, it'll just boil it, which, you know, it's fine, it's still fucking cooked. See all that liquid shit? We want that to fuck off by frying it. If you're in a pinch, you can't be fucked, just tip the liquid out or strain it or whatever, you know? Fuck, this thing is as useless as a fucking bent frisbee. That thing, which is now on the play button, was just like hot as the sun, 2 seconds flat. This thing's like,
yeah, maybe.
Now if you're using a stainless pan and shit's getting stuck to the bottom because you didn't fucking get the pan hot enough, don't worry about it too much because we're going to bang that fucking wine in and that'll fix that problem. There's a lot of people out there to just fucking dump it all in and just let it rip. It's probably still fine. But like if you've got the time and the patience for this shit, it's worth going through these steps. Particularly this bit where you fry the liquid off. There we go, it's nice of you to turn up, mate. Where were you down at the pub? See that shit? No liquid. Fuck yeah. There we go. You don't need any more oil because this shit's got heaps of fat in it. This is the bit that I think makes the lasagna taste fucking incredible. There's lots of pancetta. Like a bit more than maybe you'd usually use. That's my trick anyway. If you don't believe me, fucking cook the shit and try it. It's a goer. Now in with the rest of the bloody veggie nonsense. I like keeping the pan nice and hot for this stuff, but if it is sticking like fucking shit to a blanket, adjust accordingly. This is a bit where people start complimenting your dinner before you've ever made it.
What are you cooking, Michael? It smells delicious.
Just have a spoonful. Mark, you impatient pest. Go back to watching Getaway. Maybe 10 minutes of this shit, something like that. Until the onions have started to go translucent, you know. Lasagna is a feeling dish. You gotta feel. I always say it, but you know, do different stuff. Make it yours. Don't put Vegemite in it. Or barbecue sauce. Fuck, I've heard some wild shit. I wanna know the weirdest shit that people have put in their bolognese. Of course I'm gonna ask you to put it in the comments section because it helps the algorithm. God, that must be fun at parties. Let us know what odd shit has gone into your bolognese. If it's weird enough, I might even cook it on the channel for a laugh. So let us know. I'm gonna do one of these because it's the internet. There you go. Oh, look, I threw it all across the fucking room. Back in with the bits. We want to get this all back to a nice bloody hot temperature. And then we're gonna bang in your mate. If you don't want to bang this stuff in, totally understand. It's not for everyone. If you're not into it, that's so fine. You can just chuck in some water. That'll do the bloody trick. The booze does cook off, so there's technically no booze in there. You can still bolognese and drive kind of thing. Yoink. I love rosemary in this, so I'm putting some in it. Pretty nice and hot again. No, that wasn't my knuckles, thank God. Blech. Wine. Put gaffer tape around it so I can't tell how... It's freaked out there. Just want to fucking cook the booze off. It just wants to drink it and have a lie down. I'm going to cook the booze off for, I don't know, let's say 5 minutes. It's important to do this in these steps. If you put the wine in later on, ski, it's going to taste fucking shitty. So do it now. Don't put other wet stuff in before. You know, I know there's like some slow cooker recipes and shit where you like just dump it all in and fuck off. You know, it might be appropriate in dump meals. Some of it looks pretty fucking good actually. Pork chops, 2 cans of sliced peach. No. Put that away. Thank you for all the lovely suggestions on things to do in Japan. I did very few of them. Mate, I gotta tell you, the fucking food there. Core blimey cobber. I'm gonna move you over here. I gotta tell you this wild story. Jules and I got invited to this thing once. It was like this movie night. This person pulled me aside and was like, "Nah, I used to work for this like jar sauce brand. I won't throw them under the bus. I had a meeting about you. There was a conversation of how to get me off the internet because of all the fucking shit I'd been hanging on jar sauce." To which I'm pretty sure she said, "We can't." What do you mean, get me off the internet? Yeah, how did that work out, you fucking dickheads? Anyway, she was lovely though. Tomato paste, lots of it. Now we're just gonna fry that off for a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes or something, for 3 minutes. If I see any is looking at this shit and thinking, fuck yeah, I'll pump it full of fucking salt right now, don't do that.
Put it in at the end.
Pan cheddar, bacon, frisbee meat, whatever you put in there. Probably has a lot of salt in it. Righto, here we go. Full litre of stock. I've tried it with beef stock, didn't like it as much. I reckon this is nicer. Well, I've had that bit of shit on my shirt the whole time. I apologise for that, internet. That's one demerit point. Bring it to a simmer, you big bloody winner, and then we're gonna bang a lid on it and just cook it for as long as you fucking like, really. Just cook it for at least 45 minutes. Forever is better. The longer the better. As long as you keep an eye on it every now and then, give it a little stir and a little check, make sure it's not as dry as a dead dingo's diary. In which case you just add a little bit more liquid or stock or whatever. Just watch it on the stock though, because you put too much of that in, it'll fall off. I don't know, it'll taste heaps like it. Right, ding dong, lid on, heat down, couple hours if you've got it in you. Righto, let's make some pasta. Making pasta is fucking easy. I know it sounds like it's going to be hard, but it's not. There's some basic shit that makes it pretty straightforward. Here's one of those things. You can kind of fuck around with it a little bit, where you can put like more yolks in and less whole eggs, or you can put in just the whole eggs, which is what I'm doing. Let's keep it simple. So for every 100 grams of flour, 1 egg. It's a pretty easy measurement to remember. So I'm going 300 grams, 10 points if you can guess how many eggs. Just plonk it on the bench. You can probably do this in a bowl, but I haven't. I'm gonna make a little well in the middle. There we go, look at that. I quite commonly see people crack the egg straight in there and whisk it in the thing, which is really exciting to watch. I mean, you know, do it, it looks great, but not entirely sure what the point is, except for looking fancy. I'm sure someone will fill me in down below. It's kind of annoying trying to whisk it in there, so I just fucking do it in a bowl. Get yourself an eating iron. Don't throw forks around that, you dickhead. Just whisk them together. Sound up. Just eat one. So where did you learn to make this lasagna? Some fucking goblin on the internet showed me. Into the middle. I think you can imagine maybe what happens next. Fuck, forgot the salt. I don't really like putting salt straight into the egg, but whatever. It does make a little bit of a mess, but you do get through it, and it is worth it. Sure, we all understand the basic principles of what kneading something is. So we want to work it together. Depending on your amount of egg and the amount of flour combo, it might seem a bit dry. Give it a sec, knead it together. If it's still dry, add a little splash of water. Keep going for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. You can't really fucking half-ass this one. You'll know when you're at the sweet spot. It won't look dusty. It'll kind of look nice and smooth. Thank you. Would you like a bite? I'll swap you a lasagna. That will do. Bang it in some happy wrap. Chuck it in the fridge. Half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Out you come. A little bit more flour. Give it a little dust, matey. Now this shit here is a pasta maker.
Don't, you'll break it.
Fuck, remember that. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. You can do it with a rolling pin. Just kind of wing it a bit more. Give that a bit of a flour up. You just kind of want to get it to a point where it's going to fit through there. So you don't want it like fucking, you know, hamburger thick. So usually you want to start on the thickest setting, feed it through, fold it over, back through again. Very, very nice. Next setting, keep sending it through, so on and so forth. 2 or 3 times on each setting. I think I'll go to about 6. Very bloody fucking nice. You can hang it off the edge, it's generally alright. You can cut this into 2 bits and just do it in 2 bits, but no. Depending on the size of your lasagna tray, have a guess. And you know, how many layers you want. Very bloody lovely indeed. Fucking, that one's a bit small. I'll admit that, that's way too small. If your hands are really warm or it's really warm inside, these are going to be a bit tougher to deal with, but like, it's pretty good. Thank you very much, mate. You've been a champion. Good, clean fun, the old pasta making. Let's have a little look at our sauce, shall we? Ah, fucking get out of it. Look at that, beautiful. Crack a pepper. I think. And this is the bit that fucking freaks everyone out. It's called put some fucking milk in it. It kind of takes a little bit of the acidity out of the tomato, makes it slightly richer, makes it taste fucking good. Of all the weird shit that happens on planet Earth, this isn't that weird. I used to put the milk in at the beginning. Enough people yelled at me on the internet that I tried putting it in at the end, and it's better. So that's why I do that. I'm going to warm up a bit of milk for the bechamel in a second, so that's what that's all about. Okay, so we're going to cook that down now, so you can probably crank the heat up a little bit and let it do its thing over here. Oh, fuck off. All the dads out there will be happy about this. Let's make an ice bath. Look, in reality, I probably cut them too small, but fucking whatever. Very carefully, one at a time, bung in your pasta sheets. Have already put salt in there, whoops. We don't want to cook it for long, just, I don't know, 30 seconds will do ya. And then going to pull it straight out and we're going to bang it in the ice bath and recover like a fucking athlete. Whoop, whoop. Happy bloody days. Kind of firms them up a little bit, which makes them a lot easier to deal with when you're bunging them in the tray. You'll notice how flimsy this feels until you pull it out 30 seconds later. Don't put your hand that close to the boiling water, you dickhead. Now that's heaps tougher, like that's got some form to it. Look, there's an argument, you know, saying you probably don't even need to do that. You can just bang it in the fucking tray when you're constructing the lasagna, but you know, here we are, doing something else. I don't know if there's any point in doing this, but I'll just put a bit of paper towel between them. If you're getting it all over you, it means it's gonna taste good, trust me. And also don't trust anyone that says trust me. I'm gonna heat my milk up. I don't want to boil the milk, I just want to warm the milk up. Yes, beep beep to you too, champion. That is done. Now give it a taste. If it needs salt now, then still don't put any in. No, you can chuck it in now if you want. No, doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. This is the consistency you want. It should have a little bit of form to it. Because as I'm sure you can imagine when you're constructing a lasagna, you know, if it's runny, it's just going to end up runny on the plate, which doesn't really fucking matter, but, you know, shit happens. Right, final frontier. Let's make some bechamel. If I find out that anyone's using that fucking jar sauce bechamel, show yourself some respect, would ya? Don't fucking eat that weird clag glue shit. Oh, fuck me. Pocket butter is back into the pan. Very nice. Heat low. Medium if you must. What? Oh, it's this. Oh, fucking, I was losing my mind. Beep the night away. Milk should be warm, not hot. Because hot milk gets a skin, and you know, God knows what happens next. Can't be good. Butter, looking like that. Similar amount of flour to the amount of butter you chucked in. We're making a roux here, and no, it will not sachet away. It's going to make a kind of paste. You're going to fry that off for a minute or two, and then very slowly we're going to add in a bit of milk. Because it's warm, it'll start getting thick pretty quick. Bang some salt in there, very nice. I like banging in a bit of pepper. Oh, fucking. This can be quite confusing for some people because they're like, hang on, I thought bechamel was cheese. By definition, bechamel doesn't have cheese in it, but you can put mozzarella in there, doesn't hurt it, tastes pretty good. Get the blower back out, a bit more bloody blower footage. As it cools down, it tends to get a little bit thicker as well, so don't freak out. If it's like totally runny as fuck, a bit of cornstarch, corn flour, and a bit of cold water, because if it's warm it goes clumpy, and then slowly introduce that to this. You can do that and it'll thicken it up, you'll be right. Oven, turn it on to. All right. Fuck, this rules. Do you know what rhymes with that? Fuck yeah, Jules. You can put as many layers as you fucking like. In my case, I'll work with what I've got. Kicks off with sauce. And if you've got a bit of bullshit there, yoink that in. Don't even look at that. Now for the mighty bechamel. Bang. If you got any bits that are too short because you're a dickhead, Nat. Use those to band-aid things. So on and so forth until the shit looks like a fucking lasagna. You can put the bechamel between every layer if you like. I'm fucking doing it. Shit, I didn't really fucking save it up at the end. It's kind of hilarious. One little lasagna hot tip I will give you is don't fill the shit right to the top of the tray and then stick it in the oven because the shit will go over the side and then you'll end up clean burning bechamel off the bottom of the smeg. Last layer, bechamel. Like a Viennetta, except a human made it. Boom. Lovely. I wouldn't fuck around with the spatula on there trying to wipe it around. If you're worried, you can give it a little wriggle. That'll fill the gaps. As soon as it goes in the oven, it'll just put that out anyway, so don't stress. You kind of don't have to do this, but I like doing this. Put foil on is what I'm trying to say. Here we go. $35 minutes, 40 minutes. And then at that point, take the foil off and we bang it back in for 10 minutes, maybe 15, depending on how it's looking. And if your oven is a big dickhead that lies to you. See you in a sec. Righto. I'm just gonna smash it with some Parmesan. Fucking get it everywhere. Little crab hair if you like. Back of the oven. Back, here we go. That should do it. Just have a look at it, and if it looks not fucked, then it's fucking good to fucking go. I'm getting demonetized on this video, 100%. I'm fucked. I edited all the swearing out and I left one in at the end and it's like, no. No, you're a naughty boy. Scene 15. Yeah. Oh, come on, mate. If you wouldn't mind, the hardest part about this is realising is you gotta wait a sec before you can fucking tuck in. I mean, you can have a go if the roof of your mouth's like, you know, something you're trying to get rid of. Just leaving it for 5-10. I know what you're worried about. You're like, oh, I don't want to eat cold lasagna. They just won't, though. If you must bugger around with it, now you can kind of, you know, run your knife around the edge. Better get the stoneware out, Jeff. Lasagna, it's a bit like life. It's involved, dense, it's cheesy, it's beautiful, occasionally a little bit bad for you. Tell me I'm wrong. Just fucking eat it, would ya? Alright, so we're playing a dangerous game. First slice lasagna here. Go. Might have got it.
Oh my god, so good.
What's your excuse? There isn't one. Bit up myself now because I've made a nice lasagna. I feel the same way about lasagna that I do about Jules. I love you. I do, love you. And I would love to offer you the best piece of lasagna ever.
Have a bite of it though.
I do have to try it, don't I? Oh, that's like a mini version of what we were looking at earlier. I do this all the time. I taste the food and I'm like shocked, you know. That might be the tastiest thing I've ever fucking made, dude. Julesy, come and you've got to try this. I know you're going to be right? How fucked is that?
That's ridiculous.
That's weird.
I'm almost mad that it's so good.
I know.
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat it.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go fucking eat it. So we've got a Patreon. Yeah, just fucking, I'm gone. Let's go. Let's fucking, I'm not kidding. Let's go. Fuck, this is awesome. Don't forget to look after yourselves. Love each other. Cook each other dinner and shit. Love you guys. See ya. Fuck yes to this shit. So what, tell me, yeah, fucking, no. I'm calling Nat Stoppers. I get him to come and pick, yeah mate, yeah, done it again, McCain. Girls must do something cool. I can kick my own ass.